Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dark Hole Algo, and today is Monday, April 19th, 2021. What a crazy, fady day today it was. In this session of After Hours Charting, we're going to look at Tesla, IBM, AMAT, Fsly, DH Horton, or D Horton, anyway, DHI, Car, Baidu, and Len. I feel as if though any rotation will be moved over into building materials. Lumber futures today went bananas. We may even look at those for a second. But thanks for joining me, and let's get into it. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit me up in the comments if there's anything you'd like me to review, and let's just jump right into it. All right, welcome back everyone. Thanks for joining me. Dark Pool Algo, afternoon charting session. Let's get into this. All right, we're going to look at Tesla, IBM, AMAT. What do we have here? Tesla, IBM, AMAT, Fsly. Basically all these guys right here. All right, Tesla, and let's grab the dark pool. Algo. Alright, I hope everybody had a great day today. I stream every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Eastern until 9. I figure that gives everybody a chance to jump in, grab a look at some things, and be able to move on with their day. Alright, so the first thing we want to look at is we want to get a feel for, there we go, that one chart layout. We're going to look at, I want one chart layout. Thank you. Alright, one chart layout, Tesla. Shut down some of these things I don't need. Alright. Tesla, we've got bearish divergence. We've got a cluster of block trades that came in this morning and provided support right around 695 to 699. Currently, we're bouncing back and forth. We're range trading from the 710 to 714 block cluster. We have kind of stuck right in the middle. We've got block trades at 741, and we've got block trades at 699. This 699 block trade level has been a major support for Tesla for the last 2 weeks. Resistance turning into support, right? What I'd like to see happen is we've made higher highs and higher lows today. No, we made higher lows, so that's putting us in this flagging type of structure. The algo is net selling. However, we've got a possible curling taking place here after today. We're trading within this range of block trades. Oh, I always grabbed the wrong tool. Sorry. We're trading within this range of block trades that can be... Seriously, I did it again? Range of block trades that start here. And that's this 714.77 down to 710. Those all came in today. Looks like we got one coming in at lunch, one at 2, and then one at 4. Alright, there is a gap that will need to be filled eventually at some point here. We've got ascending trendline support here. Okay, hopping down to the 1 minute on Tesla. Alright, I'm going to go through these really quickly. Again, best way to get my attention is to hit me up in the comments or reach out to me on Twitter. As you can see, this is a good educational opportunity to look at the power of the block. I'm using dark pool blocks. We've got a dark pool print that came in at 2:45 Eastern Standard Time, which would be about in this general area here. see, 1348, 1330. Block trade came in here. As you can see, the algo is trading with the price. This block, this latest block, is going to be resistance until it can finally become support. As you can see, we were trading in a bullish direction. Block trade came in, right? Instantly started selling off until we came back down and found support. We are, like I said, we've got that trend line support that's been tested 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. We've got a curling up algo on the 1 minute chart. So intraday, this looks as if it tells us starting to grab some additional strength, and I'll look to go long. Tesla on the chart. All right, the first things that pop out to me is that we are rising and increasing in our MACD. We are MACD positive. We are also histogram positive on the squeeze. We are in a light blue histogram on the daily and the 2-day for Tesla. What this indicates is that when, I don't know if you guys can see my screen or not, what this indicates is that we have a daily and a 2-day squeeze. This 2-day squeeze that you see, this orange colored one, is a high compression squeeze. What that indicates is that the Keltner channels have entered into the Bollinger Bands and they're compressing price action. When that compression releases, we're going to have a period of at least 8 to 10 days, or excuse me, 8 to 10 periods times the period that the squeeze fired on. So if it's a 2-day squeeze, we're looking at anywhere from 20, right? So 16 to 20 days worth of squeeze release. Great news to hear. Currently we are above the 200 period SMA. We barely closed above the 50 period SMA. I'll try to grab some trend lines here. A lot of people, that's not a trend line, that's a box. A lot of people like to see essential basic trend support and resistance. We go back to this one. I'll consider this, even though it broke through it, I'll consider it support. Sometimes what I like to do is I will create a channel and we'll call that the support channel. So what we've done is, I'm going to go ahead and grab a screenshot of this. This is one of my favorite patterns to see. I should have thrown earnings on there first. Tesla's coming up into earnings. It looks like they've got earnings coming up on the 26th. Hey. All right. Earnings on the 26th. Tesla. I don't believe Tesla's ever failed at earnings. Well, I could be wrong. Let's see. Looks like they do a run up into earnings and then chop after and fade after that. All right, let me grab this on a screenshot so I can annotate it. If anyone knows of a good screen annotation tool for a Mac, please leave it in the comments. I'm tired of using the built-in one. All right, we've got this slingshot, right? Squeeze Pro getting ready to fire. It fired a couple days ago, and we're currently in the onset, or we're in the squeeze release right now. It looks as if though it was a medium compression squeeze, so I would say anywhere from 4 times the period, so anywhere from 4 to 8 days. We are running into earnings. The market extension, which is, I'm still trying to find a very technical term for it so that other people can use it. I use it similar to RSI, except for anytime anything's in this value area, this yellow band, I tend to not really play it. When it breaks this yellow band, right, I will, even if it's, this high up, I'll continue to play it, because most of the time, this area that you see here, this blue area above the, I think it's the 50 period, or the 50 line, is where a lot of action happens. If I had only played the traditional way of taking a trade up to and out of the RSI, and then, you know, when the RSI turns down, getting out of the trade, right, in this area here, we would have missed, you know, all of this additional move up. This other tool that you see at the bottom is a new tool that I'm testing out. It's also a free available tool. I'm trying to do everything I can to provide those free and available tools to people. I do have referral links for the Squeeze Pro, the Ready Aim Fire Pro, and some other proprietary, you know, paid-for tools that may give you a more of an edge because it's more clearly defined. There is tutorials, instructions, and how-tos on all of those. So keep an eye on this lower indicator. I'll be using that in the next couple weeks. Okay. We are also with Tesla, we're running into earnings, right? Back to the chart. The first chart I always review always takes me a little time because I feel as if though I need to kind of explain what you're seeing on my screen. All right, Tesla, looking for this run into earnings. Fibonacci is going to let us, we're going to get some daily Fibonacci's on here. We broke through the 618 retracement on Friday, and since then we've been fading back to the 34 EMA, which is, I call it fading to the mean. We've maintained support above the 50 SMA, the 21 SMA or EMA, and the 34 EMA. What that tells me is that we've established a baseline for support. We are in an uptrend. All right, moving it in. This is the daily chart. I'll go to the 4-hour. Support, support. Squeeze released. Whether or not we chop back and forth between the 618 and the 50 extension is really up for interpretation. We closed right above the 200 period, 4-hour simple moving average, so we're stacked positive. Any sort of a trend reversal or if the next leg up, we found support, I'd like to find a place to go. Grab. So intraday 4-hour Fibonacci retracement gives us a target of, if we maintain support at 700 or 715, if we maintain 715 support, I'd like to see 737, 747, 762. And one last chart I want to look at. Alright, as far as Tesla intraday is concerned, we are in a high compression 15-minute squeeze. Our histograms are dark blue, which indicates that it's neutral, could fire long, could fire short. We're currently below the 200 period and all of our, our 34, our 50 SMA, 34 EMA, 200 SMA, 50 SMA. Alright, we've got this box that we need to get out of before I'd be interested in getting into a position. So that 719.95, 50% retracement is going to be the key level for me to look into get into a trade long with Tesla. This 15-minute bar here, this box I'm drawing, right? See how we just traded within the range today? A break of that, and then I would look to get long. With the target of 737, 747. Okay, so Fsly. Break of 724, run into earnings. Target 737.5. All right, next one, IBM. I'm going to start picking up the speed here a little bit. IBM on the 15. We had a block trade come in on the 16th at 133.50. Looks as if though that's going to be kind of a baseline or a magnet. The algorithm it's been net buying until last week, where it looks as if though some profit taking took place. Currently, the algo is trading with price action. Today, we were able to make a double bottom and maintain support. This block trade, the sole block trade, is, like I mentioned, it's going to provide, it's just like, it provides resistance until it becomes support. It provides support until it becomes resistance. So as soon as we break that 133.50, I'd be interested, well, once we break the 133.50 and this algo begins to curl up, I'd be interested in getting long on IBM. However, with IBM, if we break, there's another key level I want to look at on the chart that I really believe if we break that 142 level, it's just going to go bananas. All right. Intraday trading, the algo is essentially just trading with price. Nothing spectacular, just chopping back and forth, trading with price. IBM on the charts. Do you all like these charts better or the trading view charts? Let me know in the comments. I've had a few people mention that the trading view charts may be easier to see. I won't know unless you guys let me know. Alright, IBM. Over the last couple days, it looks as if though we've been in an uptrend. We've got trendline support from back in August that we're going to use. Pretty significant angle of trendline support. Currently, we closed below the 8 EMA today. However, above the 21 EMA, we're above the 34 EMA. We've got the 50 and the 200 period SMAs stacked positive. Do we have earnings today? Oh, we had earnings. Let's see how earnings went. That's awesome. And I need market equities. Who knows? This thing may have tanked. All right. Look at that. It's amazing. Simply amazing. All right. It looks like we beat on earnings. We popped up to 139.60. We retraced to the 34 EMA. Probably the 55, and now it looks like we're forming on this nice little flag. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I would anticipate maybe some additional pop in the morning. Let's look at the daily. Obviously, we're in good support, positive earnings. Fibonacci is going to give us a price target. If we maintain that support, 134, 137, 139. So we blew right through that. We hit the 127 extension Almost made it to the 141. I have a longer term daily fib target for IBM. So IBM, positive earnings, break of 142, which is the 1618, right? 142. And we enter rippy mode. Support at 135, which is a 200 SMA. 134.5 is the 618 retracement. All right. So yeah, if we break 142, I'd look to go long to 147 and grab another fib level here. Look at that symmetry. Isn't it nice how those lined up? Yeah, I can't even get a fib off of it. So yeah, I'll just stick with that. Remove drawing. So IBM, great earnings. Looks as if the earnings came in at $1.668 estimated. They came in at 1.77. There may be some profit taking in the morning. The key area of support with that is going to be the 135, and that's the, or 134. 135 is a 200 SMA. If we break that, then we may flush for a little bit. The next level of support would be 134.51, a break of 142, and it's to the moon. There is room to run to 142, 141 as well. All right, next one I'll look at is, what did I say here? AMAT, FSLY. Applied materials. I have a belief that we're moving into we're going to rotate into the building sector. Lumber futures went bananas today. All right, applied materials. We don't have any real block trades that we're going to be using. We've got one from the end of March at the 127 level. Price action is currently diverged from the algo. The divergence is played out and the price action is trading with the algorithm. I know this looks like, giant. Again, I keep grabbing the wrong tool. This was like, whoa, what about that giant leap up? And while there was divergence, that did play out because price action has come up and is now trading with the divergence. Would have been from here to here, and now that's played out, and we're trading with the algo. Bringing it down onto the 1 minute chart, so you can see here we are trading with the algo. This divergence that I had indicated earlier is played out. So the algo, however, is net buying, which is important. If we're going to let the algorithm decide, help us get into a trade or help us stay in a trade, it's always important to see that the algo is in a general bullish direction and trading with price action. All right, applied materials. All right, no earnings. I have to look for earnings first from now on. All right. All right, looks as though we've got earnings set for the 20th. We have a monthly expiration options contract for the 21st, so they may be a target. Alright, looks as if that we sold off pretty good. Or reverted to the mean, actually. So this 2134 EMA is stacked positive. We are above the 50 period SMA and the 200 period SMA. Those are all positive indicators. What a move. Wow. Alright, trend line support puts us broke there. This would be the new valid one. We've got, what's that? $8 down to, $16 up as far as risk reward is concerned. Okay. These fibs are from a long time. Where's this fib from? Oh, let's just measure this single move. I'm going to go ahead and drop those. Put some new fib levels on from the high to this low that we made today. If we can maintain the 21 EMA support at 130, what is that, 130.89, we could possibly, it's a nice $7 move up into 137. Oh, there's a reason why this is on the 2-minute chart and this is my daily chart. Anyway, we've got a $5 ATR, which means that AMAT moves approximately $4.95 per day. Our EMAs are stacked positive. We are in a decreasing neutral histogram from the Squeeze Pro. Our MACD is descending. We are also entering an oversold area. If we can maintain support at the 34 EMA, sorry, let me rephrase that, 34 EMA would be the next level of support. If we break below 130, we're going to look for support at 126. If we maintain support at 130, possibly chop around for the next day or so, based on this previous gap candle that you see here, we could potentially stay within the trend and move up to a new all-time high at 150.79, which is a 127 extension. Let's see, I'm trying to see if I can find any key inflection points here. I'm going to break it down to the 4-hour chart. Wow, that's just it. We sold off, we found support at, what's this, previous doji level here. So back last week, looks like we ran into some major resistance, which has turned into support at the 1 and 128 level. Let's bring it down to a 15-minute chart and see if... Alright, so we sold off today, we came down, we found support, when we came back up, we tested resistance. Came back down and found support again. At that time, we had a golden cross on our MACD and it started to increase positively. Our RSI, this market extension tool, crossed from oversold into a value area. Great time to look to enter positions here. Let's see if I can just get... Looks as if though we ran back up into the 34 EMA resistance, so we reverted to the mean. We broke through that, we came back down, and we're just chopping through. All right. Looks as if though this is after. Let me get to the after hours chart. Looks like after hours. Looks like after hours we're just chopping. Double bottom support. Currently our EMAs are stacked positive. We don't have any real squeezes to to speak of. So I would anticipate maybe some basing for the next little while until a squeeze starts to form. If we do decide to take a position long, I'd really want to see a break of that's a tough one. I'd like to see a break of the 50 period SMA on the 15-minute chart, so the 131. We break that, then we can move that. Then we can get into that $5 per day move for a target of 137. So aim at a break and retest of 34 EMA 15-minute chart. Let's call it 132. That's the 50 period, so 132 for a run to 135, which is the 200 SMA, which will be resistance. And then my ultimate target for that is going to be the 618 extension at 140. I use whole numbers just because that's what the options chain usually is. So if you're going to trade comments on this, throw some fibs down so you can find your exact levels. Okay, next one we're going to jump into really quickly is FSLY. We're going to look at these last couple ones. I don't want this video to be super long. So we're going to look at FSLY and see if the algo is doing anything spectacular. Alright, looks as if though we've got a block trade level at 71 from last week, last week. That we haven't came back up and tested. Price action came down, did a double bottom with a higher high, or excuse me, a higher low and a higher high. The algo is currently curled down and trading with price. FSLY on the 1 minute. We've got some divergence to speak of. With it being a double bottom, I'd like to see the algo curl for a possible run from this to 70. And what I mean by the algo curling positive is it's currently curled downwards, as you can see here. I like that to curl back up for an indication that it would be okay to go back long. FSLY on the chart is showing us, looks like double bottom, triple bottom. We are below the 50 and 200 SMA. We are oversold. Our MACD is positive and increasing. We are in a daily and 2-day high compression squeeze where our histograms are dark blue, which is essentially neutral. We could get them to turn light blue if we fired long and were able to break some moving average resistance. I don't like this inverted hammer candle. So what that tells me, it's kind of like a sword, right? You're moving upwards, right? You're bullish, you're long in a position, things are going well. This candle comes in and all of a sudden you're selling off. So I look at that as like a sword piercing through the trend down to the next one. Personal little tip there. We have trendline support at currently at the 66 level. This mid compression squeeze fires. If it fires to the upside, we could look at a possible Fibonacci target of, alright, if the squeeze fires long, I'd look for resistance at the 50 period SMA, which is 76.50-ish, And then the next one would be 86, which is a 200 SMA. If it fires short and we break trendline resistance, we've got a previous level of support, possibly at 50. So 62 and then 50. Looking at FSLY on, there's a 4 hour. Let me look and see the 4 hour. On the 4 hours, it's maintained that trend line support. Our EMAs, SMAs are starting to stack positive. We are consolidating right now. We're in a 4 hour daily, 2-day squeeze. If any of those fire to the long side, I'm going to target 89. I'm going to target 85, 90, 95. FSLY, consolidation. If we get a fire long, target the 95 calls with resistance, and we'll just call it taking profit at 85 and 90, or 85 and 89. All right. DHI. I actually played this last week. It was great. It was pretty nice. All right, DHI. -15-minute DHI. This is why I played it. Algo's trading with price. We've got a cup and handle forming. Algo is currently pointed upwards. Just draw this real quick. Alright, Algo's trading with price. We've got cup and handle forming. The Algo is currently pointed upwards. Right? This gives me an indication that we're in a strong trend upwards. This is a building material. You know, this is a builder. I feel like as though we're going to rotate into building materials. Lumber's super expensive. Materials weren't, you know, no lumber was created during all of last year during the virus, right? So now there's a shortage. Simple supply and demand lets you know that, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more expensive for things. All right. This is that uptrend I was talking about. We've got stacked positive EMAs, stacked positive SMAs. We've got the potential reversion to the mean at 90. So we've got a $5 potential fade. We've broken all-time highs, so we're in blue skies. We're not in any types of squeezes. We've got earnings coming up on the 21st, so in 2 days. This could be the last blast, last push into earnings. I do not play earnings. I do not play, I don't play the day of earnings. I will play a run into, and I will play after earnings, but you're not going to catch me holding through earnings. I did that once, and it was not fun. I had an iron condor bark out the iron condor in the shop, and it was a $50 white iron condor, and it blew out the top. It's not a fun day for me because I wasn't able to manage it. I was traveling. All right, we are just kind of neutral right now in our uptrend. No super momentum to speak of. Earnings coming up. Looks as if though we're overextended on our MACD. We are overbought or oversold on the RSI. From a candle perspective, I would say from this previous low, sorry about that, from here, low to high, back to low, give us some semblance of a Possible support and resistance. Alright, DHI support, first level at 94, followed by the 21 EMA at 91. We've got $2 ATR, Fibonacci long, so we've got a 127 extension at 98, and then the 1618 at 100. With 2 days into earnings, and a $2 EMA or $2 ATR, this $100 level is not looking like that far out of reach, right? We could possibly get here by Friday, right? Based on the angle of ascent. Nice cup and handle forming on the, the 2-minute chart. We are in mid-compression squeezes on the intraday timeline. Just want to look at the options chain for this week. Those hundreds are well within my risk tolerance. It's well within the market maker move. I can't give you, direct trading advice, but I think I'm going to look at the DHI 100 weeklies. What I'd like to see is us maintain the support of our 250 SMA. Just grab a let's see if we pull up a chart I can actually look at stuff on real quick here. It's just crazy how accurate that is. All right. I believe as far as symmetry goes, I like checking for symmetry. So we chopped all through here. Support, support, support. Is this after hours? Yeah, it is. All right. You can't see the candle, but there's a candle right here. There's a candle right there. What a pop. It's that squeeze that fired off. All right, so break of 96 for a run to 100. All right. Break and retest of 96 for a run into 100. All right, the next one that I want to look at really quickly is going to be CARR and all right. CARR. Why do our LEN? I'm going to do LEN real quick just because it's in the same industry as DHI. It's in the same ETF, the ITB ETF. Looks as if that we're consolidating. Let me get back to the right chart here. LEN on the 15-minute chart for the dark pool algo. The algo is increasing. We've got bullish divergence that started last week. It started today, sorry. All right, the algo is buying. We've got divergence from the sell-off today. All right, people are taking profit. We've got trendline support that we've maintained from price action. What I'd like to see is this come down and test one more time for support confirmation, which would complete that W pattern. You guys, that woo pattern you see, everybody sees me talking about all the time, for the next leg up to complete this divergence on the 15-minute chart. On the 1-minute chart for LEN, algo is trading with price. All right, LEN, very similar to DHI, except for we don't have the earnings. We do, however, have ex-dividend day. So, with that being said, Len, I'm going to hold off on until that dividend's paid. Typically what will happen is price will drop the amount of the estimated dividend. So you'll see a 25-cent sell-off for that dividend. It's just a weird thing that happens. I'm sure there's a technical reason for it. Again, we're just neutral and chopping. Made a previous high last week. We're maintaining the 21 EMA. I'd like to see a possible retest of the 34 for an entry to go long on this. Momentum's good. Alright, momentum's good. We could be forming a flag after an all-time high. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on this one. Grab a target for you. Lend target is going to be and we hit the 1618, so that invalidates this Fibonacci. It doesn't really invalidate it. You can leave them on and see how often it hits it. But that means I need to drop down to the 4 hour. Whoa. And it would be, I go from this high to this low. So we could possibly just chop between the 50 and the 618, so 103, 104. Len's got an anticipated 2.75 ATR. So for us to go to 106 and greater, so 107, 108, 109, 10. Alright, I'm going to look at next month's Len's 110s. Alright, the 110s, lots of open interest. They're well within my risk tolerance, my risk profile. We've got $8 anticipated move, low IV. We're in a sector that's strong right now. Strong bullish uptrend. 110, nice whole number. 1618 is at 109.53. So yeah, Len 110 target. The maze. I'd like to see it maintain or possibly revert to 34 EMA for confirmation. Formation of next leg. Alright, Len was in that. Baidu is the last one I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to get to car. Sorry. I'll look at it real quick though. Alright, I'll tell you what. Whichever one has the better looking algo. How about that? Bullish divergence on car in the 1 minute. Definitely day tradable. 15 minute looks as if though trading with price. Algo's down. Alright, what was the other one? Baidu. Alright, Baidu 15 minute. Algo is trading with price. We've got bullish divergence on the 15 minute. Looks as if though a new divergence began. This divergence is traded out. So the divergence that we're looking at is going to be this one here. All of this back here is invalidated. Right? All of this is invalidated. Right? So that's one we're looking at. I'm going to go with Baidu on the 1 minute chart. Nice U-shaped pattern forming. So potential cup and handle with the algo. Alright, Baidu. Looks like we stepped down a little bit. I have no idea what the support level here, the end of last month was. It's an odd one and a double bottom. Alright, oh, that's the 4 hour, that's why. Alright, Baidu on, yeah, there it is, the 200 SMA on the daily. That's support. How's that for support? Alright, this is forming that H pattern. It's not necessarily the Woo pattern, but it is definitely forming the H pattern where price comes down, finds support, reverts to the mean, in this case the 8 EMA, and then rejects the 8 EMA, comes back down and finds additional support. If you see, you can't really see, there's a doji over here on this last run up that is gonna, I'm gonna call that demand zone, right? That also is in line with the current support level of 209.9. If we can maintain that 209.9, actually this whole demand zone from here, I'm just gonna grab the whole doji, right? So it's a $5 channel. Alright, so there's a support level there that is currently valid for Baidu. We have a $10 ATR. We have no squeezes on the daily and daily time frame and up. Lower time frames, no squeezes to speak of. We're just kind of in a neutral, oversold. We have a potential RSI crossover beginning to form. We've got potential earnings. Is this earnings? Yeah, we've got earnings coming up on the 17th. If there's weeklies, I don't think there's a. We've got a 21, which is the monthly contract. Fibonacci is going to let us know that. I'm going to go from this guy. Alright, this giant cluster of moving averages needs to really sort itself out. We're entering a death cross, which is when the 50 period SMA crosses over and down, or down and over the 200 period SMA. They call that the death cross because that 200 period is a really hard level. It's a major support resistance level, right? As you can see in this area here, I'm going to screenshot this so I can do what I need to do. Alright, again, if you know of any solid screen annotation tools for a Mac, please let me know. Alright, we've got this 200 SMA that will provide support until it doesn't, and then it becomes resistance. And as you can see, for the last week, we've been bouncing up against that 200 SMA and not being able to get through it. So we finally reverted to the 21 period EMA, which is the mean, and the 200 period SMA. We couldn't get through that, so now those are major levels of resistance. It's going to take a lot to get through those, right? With the market that we're in, no squeezes to help save us. Currently being neutral or possibly a little bit oversold. I'm not a contrarian trader. I haven't very successfully traded things, traded. I've never really been short. So I learned a little trick that if I'm long bias and I'm looking to get into a short position, just turn the chart upside down and then do everything that you would normally do for a long bias. So if I was looking at this, I would say, hey, let's go ahead and run the fib from this high. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Sorry about that. We'll move it. Alright, do it again. So from here to this level, right, puts us at 618, 206, and 234. So there's a nice channel to trade within there. And remember, I'm doing this as if though I was long bias. However, you'll see in a second how this turns out. This is a pretty neat little trick. All right, again, for shorter term time frame, Fibonacci. It's going to give us this 50 and this 618 target for an ultimate target of this 1271618, right? So when I flip this chart back over, right? Did I flip back over? Oh, my fibs flipped back over with it too, didn't they? I don't know what happened here. Alright, 360. Okay. So, I guess fibs maintain the position when you flip the chart. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it'd be cool if it did. Maybe with TradingView you can do it. Oh, that's right, with TradingView it maintains position. Alright, so the Baidu, if I was to look at a short position, I would like for it to break the 206 level for a target of 200 or 194. If we break that 194 level, next stop is going to be 160. $10 per day, definitely could hit 160 within a week. Ultimate target's going to be the 140. So Baidu contrarian, a break of 206, 206.66 for a target of 160. Would take profit at 200, 194. Right, if that happens, that's a pretty good trade, right? And you can, I really doubt we'll get down to that 140 level. That's, I mean, we could, you know, if the market's going to do what the market wants to do, 140 is only $60. However, that's a pretty significant fade, but it could do it. This is that 140 level. Right here. Alright, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Let me just show you guys car on a daily chart, since Baidu was a bust. Oh wow, should have done car. Alright, car's in a strong uptrend. Serious uptrend. Broke the 127. New high at 44.65. Stacked EMAs. Dollar per day movement. We still have a take profit target at 45. I ran through this the other day. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful when my fibs line up perfectly. Right, that 4-hour top. Right, 100% retracement. Nice support. Ran into this previous trend. I'm going to remove that. Alright. That's a crazy looking bar. If you were interested in dealing with car, we have got confluence at 44.25.27, right? A break at the 44.25. I would look for a run into 45. Yeah. Car, yeah, I have dollar options. So again, car supports at 43.75. A break of 44.27 for a run into 45.23, and then ultimately 47. So, alright, that's it. Once again, thanks for joining. My name is Darkpool Algo. Smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see me check out for you, if there's anything I can do that would assist you in understanding the process I go through. And please let me know what you feel about the TradingView charts versus the TOS charts so that I can make that accommodation. Thanks and have a great day.